Franklin and Bash, Season 4, Episode 2, Kershaw versus Lececum. This was definitely a good episode. I really enjoyed it. It was really funny. It was really witty. We got to see a lot of problems in this one episode. It seemed like they had a billion cases in this one episode, but it was really just like a couple of separate little cases. But the main problem of the episode was them trying to basically get an extension on their rent, and that just led to a series of them trying to figure out how do we do this, how do we do that, and it gave us a lot of great Franklin and Bash moments where they knew of someone that could help them out in this situation, and it just made the line longer. So it was one of those episodes. But with Franklin and Bash, it's really fun because they just know all these different people. It was cool to see them have to do such varied things. It was like they had to get a restaurant expanded, which I didn't, that seems like something that would be almost impossible to do, to just say, yeah, you can add in 2 people here. You would think that would take forever, but they went through that, and then the restaurant gets closed down, and then they have to give up their house for the weekend. So all of that was really cool to see them try to deal with that. And then the main case that they had was really interesting to me as well, because not only was it a simple divorce case, but one of the people in the divorce case was actually the doctor that was renting space from them illegally. So they of course had to try to balance that out as well, trying not to piss him off, so he rats them out and leaves them no money, and also win the case for his wife, who of course they didn't know was his wife. But that was a really good case. I actually enjoyed that a lot. It was interesting to see the whole surgery thing happen and how she looked so incredibly different in the guy. And it was cool to see that in the end he was really sorry about it. That was actually something I enjoyed, was that he didn't even realize he did that. It was subconscious. It wasn't like, oh, I really miss her, I really like her, so I'm gonna make my new girlfriend look like her. And I actually enjoyed the part that he was upset about that he did it himself, because he didn't do it on purpose. So I thought that gave him a bit of a redeeming quality. It wasn't like he was doing that just to change her, although it was fairly forceful in certain aspects, as they mentioned. But it was interesting to see where he was just like, he didn't realize what he'd actually done, and how he made his current girlfriend look like his ex-girlfriend. So that was really cool how they solved that issue. And with the way that they did it, they were able to, of course, solve the issue, win the case, and he wasn't even mad at him, and he gave him the, I guess, areola painting at the end that would actually cover the rent. So that was really cool, and they worked things out with him. So he's gone. I really enjoyed getting to see a lot more of the new character, the new lawyer, in this episode. So she was really good. I enjoyed her scene when she went to basically help out the firefighter, and that was just a funny scene. And I love the part where she's like, they were thinking like, oh, you gave them your card and stuff, so they see Enfield, Daniels, Franklin, and Bash, and they cower in fear, and she was like, well, I really gave them this card, but I put my new number on it. And that was really funny. They're just like, oh, well, all right then. But that was really funny. We got to see her a lot in this episode, and I like her character. One thing I thought was, excuse me, very interesting, was that we didn't actually get to see the 2 other new characters. We didn't see the private investigator character. He was mentioned in this episode, so we got a small reference to him, but we didn't actually see him in this episode. And we also didn't get the woman who moved from the other company either, and I can't think of her name, of course, but we didn't get to see her at all in this episode either, which I thought we would, because they're the new characters. They would kind of work on, I guess, developing them. But even without them, and that was, of course, something I noticed, because they're obviously going to be the new main characters of the show, or at least new part of the new main cast. But even without them, the episode was absolutely amazing. There was a ton of stuff in it already, so I understand why they weren't put in the episode, because it would probably just be fluff locations, or fluff scenes, I mean. But it was definitely a great episode, a lot going on. They got Enfield clear of all the charges, so that was great. And of course they did it in a hilarious way with him being a sex addict. And they had all the women and even a guy in there, which I thought was really funny. Like, Enfield just, he keeps his options open, so that was really funny. And then the guy's like, he wanted to be a part of the Mile High Club, so he thanked him. He was like, we're even. So it makes me wonder, what did that guy do for Enfield that makes him, have sex with the guy? Like, I thought that was really funny, but he's such a funny character. And it was just, overall, I thought it was a really great episode. I'm excited to see Enfield come back to the offices, and we'll get to see how that really messes with Cart, because we got to see him in this episode too, which was pretty interesting. Not in it too much, of course. He's not at the firm anymore. He's at a different one. But they're gonna hopefully find their way to put him in every episode, at least most episodes this season. So we've gotten to see him 2 times in a row. So that was really good because I wasn't expecting him to even be in this one. And he even met the new lawyer, and that was really cool. And he called her, I think her name might be Anita, but he called her Sabrina, and that's really the only reason I remember that now. But he said Sabrina, she's like, Anita, he's like, whatever, and he just walks away. I thought that was really funny, but we got to see Carp, so that was good. Infield's going to be back in the game. He got himself a new house, so Franklin and Bash don't have to worry about bunking together. But overall, I thought it was a great episode. I love the long string of crap that they went through trying to just get a week extra on their rent. So I thought that was really well done. They went through all these different steps. They were able to finally do it all right, and it was just really well done. And they of course solved the main issue that they had in this episode, which was the divorce case. And I thought that had a great solution too. That was fairly dramatic. It had its ups and downs, them trying to really balance between actually winning the case and not screwing over the one guy that's actually helping them keep their law firm in the actual building. And it all ended well, so I thought it was a great episode. I'm really excited for next week. Of course, comment below, let me know what you guys thought about this episode, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And because this episode really gave us a great focus on the new lawyer Anita, what do you guys think about her character? Because last week she was, of course, introduced in the premiere, but this one we really got to see her. She's trying to get in to just being in the actual field. She's trying to get really serious cases and stuff, and that's why she even went to Franklin and Bash, even though the entire company is kind of falling apart with Infield having been banned, or I guess barred is the actual term. But we got to see a lot more of her. She's going for the goal. She's trying to take charge in any case that she can. So what do you guys think about her character? Because personally, I think she's a really good foil to Franklin and Bash, especially since everyone else that we've gotten to see is very experienced and she's really new. And so she's sort of an in-between character where everyone else is the very serious foil to Franklin and Bash, and she's like the energetic foil. She's serious at times, but she's like in the beginning of the episode when they did the trick for the bunny, which was I think for like tax evasion or something silly they said, which I don't know how they ended up pulling that off, but she was really into it. So it was cool to see how she was so energetic about actually watching them, and she wasn't exactly like disgusted. I don't want to say disgusted, but she wasn't put off like pretty much everyone else in the series tends to be outside of Infeld. So what do you guys think about it? Because I actually like her character, and I'm hoping to see more of her as well, of course. Mostly the PI character because he's the other brand new character. But comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.